At approximately 12:14 p.m. today, a sniper utilizing a telescopic rifle opened fire on pedestrians. His first victim, Alfred P. Majors, was killed instantly when a .22 caliber bullet passed through his temple. 14 other citizens were mortally wounded. Due to the tie-up, police found it impossible to reach the scene of the homicides, and emergency vehicles were unable to get through. At 12:24 p.m., the police helicopter patrol pinpointed the sniper as being perched on top of the water tower and the Haskell Publications building. But before appropriate action could be taken, one of our officers took the initiative of climbing the water tower in an effort to talk the sniper down.
You say anything?
Hey, Pete, he's gonna come down.
Listen, I'm not coming up to arrest you. I just want to talk. Find out who you are. Why you've done this.
Pete! Get down here! Pete, the helicopter's on its way. They'll take care of it. Get out of there!
We have plenty of time. None of us are going anywhere. I'm Peter Nicholas. Is there anybody you want us to call, notify you're up here?
My name is Harold Gorman.
Do you want us to get in touch with your family?
I don't care.
I don't believe my son had anything to do with this. He was a very good student. I mean, he couldn't possibly have killed all those people at that distance. People have told me that it is physically impossible. Now, there must have been a lot of people firing from those roofs, and the police are covering it up. They're blaming my son.
I grew up at a Catholic boys' school in the Bronx. Graduated DeWitt Clinton High School. A year at Fordham University before I joined the force. Where did you go to school, Harold?
Why should you tell me all these things?
I want you to know me. We don't kill people we know, do we, Harold? Only strangers. That's why I'm coming up, Harold. So you can see my face. Hi.
Hi.
I'm 34 years old. How old are you, Harold?
I'll be 22 the 7th of July. I'll never be 22, will I?
Well, we can't bring anybody back to life, Harold. Nobody can. But there are a lot of people down there would like to know why you did this. You mad at somebody?
It was a nice day.
Yeah. You into drugs, Harold?
I don't do that. I don't hang around with those kind of people.
Can you tell me why you did this?
Yes. promise you won't tell anybody else?
I can't promise that, Harold. It's my job to find out.
Well, I'll tell you anyway. God told me to.
Peter. Hey. It's okay. What happened on that roof?
Nothing.
It's okay. It's somebody else's turn to play hero. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna pick on you today. I'm giving you a day off. This is Miss Forrester. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've taught that class before. They let me live. All right. Okay, bye-bye. Again, Spanish Harlem. I really should have a police escort. I suppose the teacher I'm subbing for got mugged in the boys' lavatory.
How'd you like to be mugged by a detective?
Or maybe they're holding her for ransom.
What do you think I could get for you?
I have to get dressed.
Mm-mm.
I don't understand how his aim could be so accurate. It was one of those old mail-order rifles. The sights weren't even properly calibrated.
Insane people seem to be graced with unexplainable powers. I read that.
I'll bet you did. I wonder what guided his hand.
Are you going to tell me all those people were meant to die? Come on, Peter. You're acting like some kind of rookie who's never been through this kind of crap. You've heard every story in the book.
I'm driving out to Hempstead to see Martha.
People don't change. It's really our decision, not hers. The laws of New York State have grown up. Anybody can get a divorce.
I think she's ready to be reasonable.
Why don't you try being honest with her? You really have her believing that I'm the one standing in your way. Doesn't she know that you sneak off to Mass every morning? Like a thief? Does she know that you confess everything to the priest? Peter. I'm not out to hurt you, Peter. I feel sorry for you. You really believe. But where is all the joy it's supposed to put in your heart? come here to ask me for something? You want everything to stay just as it is. That's fine with me. But what will your girl do when she finds out? Aren't you afraid that she'll leave you? It happened before. Talk to me, Peter.
Is there anything you need?
No. No. I'm fine.
Hey, this isn't really in your jurisdiction. His wife said that he was sitting at home reading a magazine. He suddenly got up, went down to the supermarket, took a knife and started stabbing people.
John, why did you do it? Take your time, John. I know you can hear me. Why did you attack all those people? Why did you pick up the knife?
God told me to.
John? John!
Hello.
Don't ask who I am or how I know. There's going to be another of those killings today.
Hey, who is this? Hold on a minute. Get on the line. This is your special.
Excuse me, would you repeat that again, please?
Look, he has willed it to be. 5 more will die today along the route of the parade.
The St. Patty's Day parade? There'll be 5,000 dead drunk, you mean?
Let me take this. What do you mean, he? How does he will people are killed?
You'll see there'll be one of your own. A policeman.
Which one?
I don't know. Maybe he hasn't even been chosen yet. But it's going to happen.
At what time? At what point in the parade? Sam! Get down to the parade.
Not supposed to march in the parade.
There's gonna be a shooting. I'll be there in a minute. Listen, get me Sergeant Duff, will you? He's on the parade route, 44th Street and 5th Avenue. Now, he's there. He marches every year. Find him, will you? Switch the call through to one of the cars.
This is Duff.
Sarge, is there any way of delaying the parade?
Stop the parade, sure.
Someone is about to go berserk and shoot some people in the march. It's gonna be a cop, probably a patrolman.
Yeah, I hear you, but I don't believe it.
Well, follow the march. Will you keep your eyes open? It's gonna happen.
Yeah, okay.
Probably up where the mayor's watching, in front of the TV cameras. Somebody's trying to terrorize the people in this city, and they're gonna do it in a big way.
I got a tip there's gonna be a shooting. Somebody in uniform. One of our guys. Follow the march.
1 for them, 20, 14. What's it here? 23. We're in a 2901. We're in a 2901. 14. What's the year? 23.
Stop the parade. Rain or shine, that parade has gone on every year for 75 years.
Something new is going to be added this year.
Look, it's too late anyway. The march starts in 3 minutes.
Pete, it's obviously a crank call. All that bullshit about being chosen.
Nicholas, stay here. The Irish have waited all year for this day. You are not going to ruin it for them. You got that?
Subway with Patrolman Jennings, right?
Yeah, I did.
Did you see him talking to any strangers on the train?
No, it was crowded. Everybody headed for the parade. But I did see him lean over. He was talking to a kid on the train there.
What did he look like?
Well, he was in his 20s, blonde hair, thin built.
Yeah, I rode Gorman up to the roof. How did I know he had a rifle stashed in that package?
Was there anyone else in the elevator with him?
Yeah, I guess so. I take hundreds of people up and down every day.
No. I mean, a young man with shoulder-length hair, blonde.
People like that got no business in here. Look, they try to come in and use the toilets. They shoot up. We keep the toilets, all of them, locked.
Did you happen to see a young man like that on the day Gorman went up to the roof?
Like I say, you don't see many of those. Yeah. It was that day. But I can't for the life of me picture him.
Did you see him the day of the murders? Was he in there talking to anybody, a stranger or someone?
Yeah, held on to his shoulder. Like a girl, one of those hippie types. You have always to watch them, or they rip you off. Stealing from markets. I must have seen his face, but it's like he didn't have any.
Did your son have many friends with long hair?
Well, my boy, he didn't hang around those types. That's why I remember this one particular boy.
How old was he? Was he about Harold's age?
I only saw him through the window. My eyes are no good. His face was a blur. I couldn't focus my eyes on him. That's odd, isn't it?
Did your son ever mention his name?
Yeah, I think it was, Phillips. Yeah, from uptown Washington Heights. You know, I knew he'd get my Harold into trouble. I mean, anybody who would walk barefooted around the streets of New York City had to have something wrong with him. Yeah. Bernard Phillips, that's the name my son gave me. Bernard Phillips.
Okay.
Bernard Phillips.
Thank you very much.
Nobody seems to be very specific when it comes to this boy. He's never drafted, never worked, never on welfare. Lived a charmed life. When you find him, ask him how he pulled it off, will you?
Maybe he was blessed.
Never went to church either. No religious preference, I guess.
Hey, you got all the blessings. Who needs religion?
Check school records.
They don't exist.
There are people like that.
Yeah? Who?
Have you tried juvenile offenders? How about where he was born? Start at the beginning.
22 Broome Street, Little Italy, right? Maybe somebody still left in Newham.
Mrs. Phillips, can I ask you some questions?
Come on, say it! Go! Say it! Go! Come on, say it! Go!
You look pretty bad yourself, Lieutenant.
I'm just numb. I won't believe this. This is the first time I've been hurt.
You better stop by and get some stitches in that hand.
I didn't even get hurt when I was a kid when I fell off my bike.
You're gonna have a nasty scar.
Find out anything else?
Just there was a mistake in her identification card.
What's that?
Listed her as a Mrs. Phillips.
So?
She wasn't a Mrs. Anybody. She was a virgin.
I've delivered 9,000 babies in my career. I truly could not tell whether that child was a male or female. It was as if the sexual gender had not yet been determined. It was as if it were being developed.
You chose to call it a male.
Well, I suppose I thought it was the best thing to do. I mean, the woman was not at all upset, you know, when I broke the bad news to her. She didn't even seem surprised. And so, when she referred to the infant as a male, I just went along with it. I wonder how the child turned out.
Yeah, male, female, or something else entirely. You feel no animosity towards your family?
No, why should I? I wasn't even thinking about them. I was reading the sports page, wondering what the Jets were going to do.
When you decided to get up, go to the closet, take the gun off the shelf, right?
Well, it just occurred to me.
It just occurred to you?
Mm-hmm.
It just occurred to you to shoot your wife?
No, I shot Jerry first.
Jerry was your son?
Yes. He was 7.
What did your wife do when she saw you shoot your son?
She wanted to stop me, and she ran.
And then you shot her in the back?
Twice, I think.
And then your daughter? What's her name?
My daughter, Lindsay. She screamed and she ran into the bathroom. The bathroom is the only room in the house with a lock on it. I said to her, Lindsay, open the door for Daddy. I said it was only a game. I told her that Jerry and Mommy were all right. The gun was a toy. It was all in fun, and if she came out, I'd let her play with it. I'd show her how to do the trick. Well, in a little while, I heard her laugh. Then I heard a click. She came out. She was laughing. I was laughing when I shot her.
You don't feel any pity, do you? Any remorse?
I don't think I ever felt so good.
How come?
Well, I thought I'd do something for him after all he's done for us. I mean, he's given us everything and asks for so little. How could I refuse him? Huh? How could I? I mean, he wouldn't ask me to do anything that wasn't right. They're with him now, and they must be very happy.
You say he spoke to you?
Inside me. He guided my hand. Do you know something? I didn't even have to aim. No, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking that he asked too much of me. But you don't love God the way I do.
You're a religious man.
Not until today. It happened all at once. And, I've been searching for this all my life. What was it? In the Bible, God asked Abraham to kill his son, Isaac. Sacrifices to your God are nothing new. Why are you looking at me as though I were the first? Life doesn't matter. None on this earth.
See? Son of a bitch. You see this? This was your kid. You blew the back of his head off, you stupid bastard, you.
Easy. Take him out. Get him out, will you? Get him out.
He's a nut. They'll put that bastard in a home. He'll never serve a day behind bars. In 5 years, he'll be back out on the street. We've seen his type before, Pete. You and I both know that. But you, I've never seen you fly into a rage like that. You've got to be careful. You might hurt somebody.
I heard you got hurt.
Yeah. A lady invited me up.
Huh.
You ever have a case where a crime was committed and people say that God made them do it?
There's always some psycho around that says he's acting in the name of the Lord. You know, I had women claim that they were laid by the Almighty. But when you looked into it, you found it was their stepfather or their high school teacher or someone else in authority that slipped it to them. Girls have wonderful imaginations, Pete.
Yeah.
Yeah, my friend Callahan on the Jersey State Police, God rest his soul, he had a case like that back in the winter of 50 or 51. The dame said God did it.
51? 24 years ago.
Yeah, I'm sure it was 51 because that was the year my eldest was confirmed. Oh, there were a lot of elements in that case that couldn't be explained. So they did the next best thing. They forgot about it.
Sit down, you can't see through you. I don't mind having company, but I don't want to miss my show.
Time is money.
All right, it's a commercial. Now, will you tell me about Mrs. Phillips? Huh? The night that you found her?
Hell, if I'd been her husband, I would have beat the tar out of her. She was hysterical. I almost didn't take her into the car. Oh, not that I didn't play around from time to time, but... And she didn't look seductive, you know what I mean? She looked like she'd been through hell.
Put this coat on. Well, what'd they do to you? Men like that ought to be hung up by the...
It wasn't men.
You don't know what you're talking about now. I'm gonna take you to state police headquarters. You know, put this on you, please.
Not that way, they're out there.
You know, there's nothing out there but the city dump and an old dirt road that's ain't been used since before the war. Okay, we won't go that way. I'll tell you, lady, first police car I see, you're getting out. And don't get any ideas about accusing me of that.
It was as large as a house.
What?
But it didn't set on the ground, it hovered.
Huh?
And they raised me up and I floated up into it. Then they took all my clothing away, but they were very gentle. But I couldn't see them.
Yeah?
Nothing, except a single light that blinded me.
Sure, okay. What are you talking about?
Where are we?
Well, those are the lights of Jersey City over there, and then... Where do you think we are?
They took me from Nantucket Island.
Huh?
I was walking on the beach alone. I like to be alone sometimes. It was a sound, a hum overhead, and then I couldn't move. I couldn't do anything. I looked up and it was over me like a heavy cloud, only it was very low, and then it started coming down over me. I want to talk about it. Please say something. I know I'm making you afraid, but talk to me.
Well, what else did they do to these people?
They put me in the middle of this light, this warm, glowing light. What time is it?
Well, it's at 10:34.
It seems so long. It was only a little after 10 when I went out for my walk.
Well, in Nantucket? And half an hour later, you're in Jersey Sound with your clothes off? Hey, come on, that's crap.
Well, it mustn't have taken very long.
Hey, did they look like us? I mean, they have no clothes on, too? They have, I mean, did they fool around some?
Well, that's the last I saw of her. Well, I figured I was lucky. She didn't cry rape, right?
Yeah. She was raped, all right. child was born of that union. I checked the birth record.
What are you talking about? Hey, listen, why don't you take the missus? Go down to Miami, get yourself some rest.
Look, I can prove it. I'm gonna find him.
Stop talking, Nicholas. You're gonna screw yourself up good.
Yeah, I know.
You've come to the wrong man, Lieutenant. I'm not a police reporter. I'm a science editor.
Yeah, but you're interested in the outbreak of unpremeditated homicides, aren't you?
Well, who isn't, so?
So in every one of these cases, the murderer has insisted that he committed the crime because God told him to do it. That's been kept quiet by the department. They don't want complications.
Lieutenant, the religious editor is on the second floor.
Religion, by its nature, indicates belief, faith of some kind. I'm talking about facts. Cold, hard facts, the kind you like.
Yeah. You've tried the others, haven't you? Nobody would print it?
That's right.
What makes you think I'd stick my neck out? Every priest and rabbi from Staten Island to Yonkers would want to hang me by my mustache for making them read sacrilege over their cornflakes.
Because you had the guts to print that stuff about God being an ancient astronaut. Now millions of books are being sold on this stuff, the subject. You've got people to listen.
Ed, what do you think would really happen if somebody actually believed that God was exercising his will directly over the city streets? I mean good deeds, much less mass murder.
Yeah, they'd be frightened, they'd be shocked. Maybe the killing will stop if it's been acknowledged.
You're probably too young. When I was around when Orson Welles told the people over CBS the Martians were in New Jersey. And believe me, the show was not that convincing, not that good. And you want me to tell them that God is at 57th Street and Madison Avenue coaching snipers? You know, I'd like to see it. All the atheists would love it.
What's that?
God to show up. It'll finish the churches. All the churches. All my enemies would be out on their pious asses. Total chaos, that's what I like. Out of chaos comes reason. Out of reason, science. Crazy, Lieutenant? I'll write, they'll print. Don't expect headlines. Second section, the bottom of the page. And if anybody objects, we'll print more. And bigger. That's journalism.
His father was a motorman on the BMT. He, developed Parkinson's disease or something. So Peter became the sole support of his two brothers and two sisters. Stepbrothers and sisters, actually. He put both of the boys through college. They went instead of Peter. You know he was a foster child from the Catholic Children's Home. The Nicholas family took him in when he was only a baby. So Peter felt he owed it to them.
Where are they now? His adopted brothers.
One's in California and the other died in Korea.
Any history of nervous disorders? Does he sleep well at night?
Why don't you ask his wife?
He hasn't spent a night with her in the past 4 years. He admits that.
He goes to church a lot, doesn't he? I mean, not just on Sundays.
This is beginning to sound like an inquisition. I'm going home now, gentlemen.
Listen, we just hope you can make some sense out of all of this. I mean,
You know, people who are too goddamn religious make a lot of trouble for everybody.
He truly believes, and that sets him apart. Religion can ruin a man. You'll see to that.
continue to battle the outbreak of religious violence that has spread across the city in the past week. Crowds proclaiming the birth of a new god have attacked wantonly in mobs and without apparent motive. Psychiatric experts label the phenomenon a classic example of mass hysteria, but can offer no other explanation.
Lieutenant.
What the hell you doing here? You know better than to come down here.
Oh, come on, man. It's after 10 o'clock. What, you afraid of the cleaning woman? Come on. Jesus Christ. Hey, man, look, I am very pissed, man. I mean, my bag man said that he made the delivery. But my people are still getting busted.
It's the best I could do. The captain said he wanted some arrests, so I gave him a few.
I've been trying to figure out a way to deal with you without anybody coming after me. Now, with all this bullshit about God, I think I found myself a sucker.
This isn't like the others.
Now you're going to come up with some new crackpot theories. Not enough that you caused this, that you leaked it to the press, that you made a panic from one end of the city to the other.
The murderers always stayed with their victims. They never made an effort to escape. There was some other reason for Jordan's death. Somebody had it in for him. He was in business for himself.
Now, what kind of an accusation is that to make about a dead officer?
Jordan was working both sides of the street, and you know it. Maybe the boys up in Harlem held him responsible for their recent problems.
First it's God, then it isn't, huh?
I'm just saying it should be looked into.
Get off my back.
Used to be a pretty classy chick. What happened? Doesn't your man look out for you anymore?
My man gave me this.
He, used to be in business with the late, Lieutenant Jordan, wasn't he?
How would a cop like you know that? Such as one of those honest ones.
When I knew him, his name was Brown, Joe Brown. He's been out of town for a while. How come?
I don't know.
Joe Brown must be a million of them. What's his name, Miss Meyer?
Zero. Because that's exactly what he gives us gals that work for him. Zero.
I'm convinced that the man who's in touch with us is everything that he claims to be.
Yes, he's proven his control over any number of human beings. And he's always careful to inform us of his intentions before each of these atrocities. Unfortunately, one of us has betrayed his confidence to the police. I'm sure he knows who that person is.
Why must he precipitate such a bloodbath? I mean, can't he communicate by any other media except violence?
Exactly. Why can't he perform miracles, cure a few thousand people? Wouldn't that be more impressive?
The only way the Lord has ever successfully disciplined us has been through fear. Cure a man, and you impress a few people who already believe anyway. Kill a multitude, and you can convince a nation. You ought to know that, Hirsch. It worked with the Egyptians. He killed off all their firstborn, and then they let your people go, didn't they?
I wonder if the cost of salvation isn't a bit high.
He's only made one request. There's a policeman, a detective, who seems to threaten him. He wishes us to convince this man to join us without doing him harm.
Why would he be interested in a detective?
My boss, Mr. Richards, wants to see you. Get in, please.
Thank you, John. Will you wait downstairs? Come in, won't you? Why don't you leave him alone?
What are you talking about?
You know very well.
What does he do? Give you tips on the market?
I'm surprised that you can be so light about this.
You've seen him recently, then, huh?
Well, I've just come from him. Can't you feel his power still in me?
He trusts you. Why?
We were chosen. All of us. Without so much as a letter, without even a telephone call. We knew to gather in New York on the 1st of the month. He reached inside of our minds. Honored us by his choice.
Disciples, huh?
He could have disposed of you just by willing it.
Must have had a reason for keeping me around.
Perhaps he feels if he could convince a person like you.
Don't tell me that he needs to build up his confidence.
The last time the living God came forward on this earth, he's the one who got murdered.
Did he ever mention his mother to you?
Well, she's deceased, isn't she?
Did he ever talk about a time back in 1951 when she was walking on a beach at night in Cape Cod and found herself in a meadow in New Jersey?
I don't want to hear any more of this.
What's the matter with you?
I don't feel very well.
What's wrong?
I don't feel very well.
Sit down.
No, get my chauffeur. No, give me lots of water.
Here. Drink it slowly.
Hello?
Easy. Come on, it's not your heart. It's not your heart. It's him. Come on, fight him. Fight him. He's trying to show me what he can do. Fight him. Fight him. Fight him. Fight him. Fight him. Damn you. Kill me. Kill me!
sorry. I tried. I'm really not very good at it. Wish I could pray.
Logan, huh? That's your name?
I warned you about the killings at the parade. He forgave me. He gave me one more chance. He's waiting.
Let's go there, Mr. Logan.
I can't. Not now.
Why not?
I can't tell him my fate.
You won't have to. I'll tell him for you. Come on, let's go.
He never comes upstairs. I always go down to the furnace room. He likes it there. It's warm and no one sees him.
He stays in hiding?
Isolation. It isn't necessary for him to actually contact us directly anymore. He can make us know what he wishes. He's learned how. He's growing. He's changing every day. Becoming more powerful.
It's okay. You're strong. You showed him you could exercise your will. Brought me to you, now you're afraid to let me see you? Why is it so important I believe? What makes me different from the others you killed?
Accept me, no questions.
Why are you afraid of me? You're afraid I'll find out something? You can't kill me, can you? Because I'm different, too. I'm starting to feel it. To find out.
I taught you that you could be hurt. Your stitches haven't yet healed.
Well,
Sister, we're investigating a series of crimes, and we need your help. We need the adoption records for the year of 1941.
We don't usually release that information.
Oh, I know you don't, but it's very important for us to locate the natural parent of this child.
Well, the child would be a grown man by now.
Oh, yes.
I don't see how it could do any harm, could it?
Not at all.
Those records are probably been moved to the new building. There's no record of the father's identity. The child was born out of wedlock.
No, that's all right. We're more interested in the mother's name.
Mullen. Elizabeth Mullen.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Hello? I phoned earlier.
About Miss Mullen?
Yes. You didn't tell her I was coming?
Well, there's no need to. I mean, she's not going anywhere. None of them are.
Could you tell me something about her, please?
She's an old maid, you know the type. I'll bring her down for you.
I'd rather see her upstairs, if that's all right.
Sure, come on. Oh, listen, you know, we can't be responsible for the condition of the rooms. You know these people, they like things their own way. There's this lady who lived next door who died a couple of days ago. I mean, she just died, sitting there looking out of the window. Nobody even missed it till dinner time. Well, you know what they say. There's only one cure for old age. It's second door to the right.
I'll, just knock on the door if you don't mind. I'm sure you have something else to do. Miss Mullen? Miss Mullen? You have a visitor. May I come in?
Yes. Come in. Shut the door before there's a draft.
It's a hot day. You should open the window.
If you don't mind, I'm satisfied with the temperature in here. What do you want? Do I know you?
I'm a policeman. I hope you'll be able to help me with some information.
Well, you've come to the wrong party.
Well, this is about something that happened a long time ago. 35 years.
My memory's all I have left. None of the other parts work very good anymore.
You remember the New York World's Fair? The original one in Flushing Meadows?
Oh, yes. It was grand. My father helped build it. He was a construction worker. Helped build the perisphere. But you wouldn't remember that. You weren't even born then.
Do you ever remember talking to a policeman before? About some problem? Officially, I mean.
No.
About the same time as the World's Fair? You don't remember making a statement to some officers in Queens County about a terrible experience you had?
Why would you want to know about that?
Well, let's just say I think it might be important.
They wouldn't believe me then. Why should you believe me now? They made me tell the story over and over again. All they did was laugh. Pretty Pretty soon I began to believe it never happened. A few weeks later, I realized I was right. It was the first time my father ever hit me. They sent me to an aunt for a few months. And finally, I came back and the baby was born at Queen's Hospital.
Let's see, you were coming home after the fair. It was, past 11 p.m.?
I can tell more what I felt than what I saw. There was motion in the soft sound of engines. And I seemed to be floating. It was a ball of light all around me. I felt it pass through me. And the purring sound stopped. And I found myself wandering down a street near my home. It was the next day. Nobody believed me. And I realized I was going to have a baby and nothing could stop it. I'd swore to my father in Jesus' name that I never had slept with a man. I never had. I never have. Oh, you know Miss Simmons down the hall? She never has either. And she's almost 80. I guess we're the only two virgins left. I carried that baby inside me for 9 months. I hated it. I couldn't understand. I even thought of committing suicide, but we were Catholics, you know.
Didn't the church help you?
They took the baby and they did put him up for adoption with a good Catholic family.
Yes, they did just that.
Somebody at the hospital told me it was a boy. I never felt it was mine. It seemed to have a life of its own. I'm glad I didn't see it. Why have you waited all this time to come? Who are you, really? You're him, aren't you?
I don't know. I might be.
What are you?
I don't know any more than you do why they put me here. What reason?
What are you going to do to me now?
Oh, please.
Haven't you hurt me enough? I was never the same after what you did to me. No, please, don't touch me. Haven't you done enough?
I didn't do anything to you. Some other force wanted me born, wanted me to be carried by you, wanted me to live half my life before knowing what I was.
Why pick on me? Why me? I never hurt anyone in my whole life. Why do you have to hurt me now?
Don't you see? What happened to you is over after I was born. What's happening to me is just beginning.
You get out of here. Don't touch me. Don't ever come back.
What are you doing to her?
What did you do to your mom?
Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
You're no cop!
Calm down, Mom.
I don't want anybody to touch me. I don't want anyone to touch me. I don't want you ever to touch me again.
Do you know who I am? I suppose you're Casey. Please, come in. He hasn't been home for 3 nights. I'm afraid.
Peter isn't an ordinary man. He never has been.
Why weren't there any children? I mean, he seems to have some sort of hang-up whenever I mention kids.
I had 3 pregnancies. Each one ended in a miscarriage in the 5th or 6th month. Doctors could find nothing wrong with me. There was no reason for the miscarriages. No reason. None.
Didn't know about that. He never mentioned it.
He wasn't sorry. Oh, he said all the right things. But I felt he was relieved when the babies weren't born. He was always frightened of having children. An irrational fear. It's crazy. But somehow I felt he knew they wouldn't be born.
How would he know?
The doctor convinced me to have an operation so there wouldn't be any more pregnancies for my own well-being. Father Dowling sanctioned it in the name of the church for health reasons. So, I'm alone. Sometimes I sit here and wonder, who did I live with all those years?
Sorry, I have to go back to the city.
What kind of a man would hope and believe that his children would be stillborn? Can you tell me? What kind of fear is that?
I was worried. I thought you might have come here.
Come home, you mean? No, that's all right. That's all right. No, I'm glad you're here. I've never seen the two of you together before. Odd, isn't it? The 2 people you love the most.
Makes saying goodbye easier. See, he's going away. That's so, isn't it, Peter?
Well, you don't have to keep these for me anymore. All my life I felt so close to God. And it wasn't him after all. I wish I'd saved some of that love for you. I wish I could do it now.
Do you think you can set me free so easily?
Martha, help her if you can. Like you've always helped me.
would you have come to me afterward?
Yes.
You don't have to do this. You're going to get hurt.
Casey, the choices aren't mine. They never were. Honey, you don't even know who I am.
You won't let me get close.
There's nothing left. Can't you see? Look at me. Look at me! Can't you see?
Yes, I see.
We're all just gonna let go of each other. Okay? Okay?
Hey, Zero. Man, you got one of your customers waiting.
Hey, man! I've been waiting for you for 3 hours.
What you got there, huh?
What is this shit? Turkey, you holding out on me? Oh, man. Huh? Come on, empty your pocket. Inside out. I don't know you haven't got a tape someplace, huh? Huh? Come on, man. What you pushing me for? Come on, man. All right, drop your pants. Drop them! Nothing, man. I'm gonna be good to you. I'm gonna give you 3 bags.
Man, I just gave you $100.
Inflation, drop dog.
Man, I can't go out there with this. They'll kill me.
It's either them or me. Come on.
You killed Lieutenant Jordan.
Flush your shit down the toilet.
Boom!
Don't be afraid.
You crazy mother. Alone, you gonna bust my ass? They ain't gonna let you do that to a brother. Help! 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 Help!
We're not the same, you and me. I found you by myself this time.
You've tested yourself since we last met, and now you've experienced it.
I'm not gonna do it again.
In all living things, one set of genes is dominant. In me, all that is human became recessive. And you, my brother, if I may call you that, are the reverse. That is why it took you so much longer to come to realize what you are. That is why it's so difficult for you to break with the human portion of your character.
Why did they put the both of us here?
You were not like them. So they tried again. If there are others, they'll be like me. Your children would have been like me. If you hadn't willed them to die.
I didn't!
The history books are full of virgin births. Who were Moses and Jesus, really? Our ancestors.
They were put here to create!
I can bear your child. Together we could start a new species.
No! No!
It was meant to be. It's meant to be.
You've never felt pain.
a couple of questions, please?
Yes?
Could you tell us, sir, when you went to the building that night, were you aware that you were going to commit an act of homicide on the person of Bernard Phillips?
Yes, yes, I was.
Sir, just ask you your reasons for performing this atrocious murder against a 24-year-old boy.
God told me to.
Pardon?
God told me to.